And finally, it happened. NASA has revealed the deepest 5 infrared views of space ever from the most powerful space observatories, and that's something exciting to check upon. Welcome back to Samir, and in today's episode we're going to watch this spectacular beauty that our scientists claim to be the most realistic of them all, and subscribe if you haven't already. This deepest infrared picture of our spectacular stellar was delivered to the public by the James Webb Space Telescope after 6 months of its orbit. Webb's use of the infrared light spectrum allows it to see through cosmic dust, and this telescope is 100 times more sensitive than its predecessor. The larger surface of the telescope's primary mirror is made of 18 hexagonal segments of gold-coated beryllium metal, and this enables the telescope to cover larger distances. It was President Joe Biden who unveiled the images of the 4.6 billion-year-old Galaxy Cluster SMACS 0723. The image is filled with thousands of galaxies, which also come as a surprise to our scientists because a decade ago we thought there was only one galaxy. And interestingly, the light which is used constitutes this image has been traveling through space for 4.6 billion years. And hopefully, scientists believe to glimpse light from the first formed stars and galaxies, which were formed 13.7 billion years ago, which is also only 100 million years away from the Big Bang. The images came in order after the president's first reveal. Scientists shared 4 other color images to the series, and by far, we know that these are the first among many to come. As for the first image, which was unveiled by President Joe Biden, is a composition of images at various wavelengths. The telescope used to capture these wavelengths was using a near-infrared camera in a time of 12.5 hours of continuous observation. As the images were released, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson stated in public that these images included the deepest infrared view of our universe that has ever been taken. Show us how Webb will help us to uncover the answers to questions we don't yet ask. Questions that will help us better understand our universe and humanity's place within it. These images open a new dawn for us humankind's space exploration, and also, it is a fine example of what NASA does best. NASA has been exploring the unknown space for the whole of humankind for a long time, and such a huge discovery as this reveals to us the hidden universe through every phase of space history, from planets outside our solar system called exoplanets to the most distant galaxies in the early universe. And the telescope named JWST is expected to be operational for 2 more decades if we quote BU astronomer Blanton about the telescope. She says with its sensitivity and resolution, JWST will enable the discovery and study of clusters of galaxies so distant and early in the universe that they've never been able to be observed before. Astrophysicist Lopez Morales of Harvard said, "Everywhere Webb will look, we'll see something new." Now, when we examine the first image released from NASA from the telescope images of the same region taken from other sources, we can see many faint little dots, and these dots are distant galaxies. And with the help of JWST telescope, now we can look at terrestrial planets orbiting within the habitable zones of other stars. Now that we've seen the backgrounds, let's take a look at the amazing images. The stunning first image is a tableau consisting of thousands of galaxies in the SMACS 0723. Scientists observed the cluster for a long time to capture this magnificent scenario. SMACS combined a mass boost, the telescope's power, acting as a gravitational lens that magnifies the far more distant galaxies behind it. We can see these distant galaxies in the picture. They appear faint and red, and now as we encounter these galaxies for the first time, scientists are studying the compositions as the telescope reveals concentrations of elements like hydrogen, oxygen, and neon within them. The peculiar case about James Webb is that it doesn't only reveal the stars with the most accurate colors, but it does provide incredible clarity so that our experts are now able to study the age, makeup, and characteristics. The second image is of Karina Nebula, also named as Cosmic Cliff, a spectacular region of new star births, and this place does include massive stars that are 50 to 100 times the size of the Sun. If we take a close look at the southern ring, we can see a massive and expanding cloud of gas surrounding a star as it slowly dies. This turbulent place resides in the southern constellation Carina, approximately 7,600 light-years away from us. Thanks to the infrared view of JWST, we were able to see through the fog to understand these stellar formations in breathtaking detail. Astrophysicist Amber Strawn of NASA says, "We have these gigantic, hot young stars up here at the top, and the radiation and stellar winds from these stars are sort of pushing down and stunning into all of this gas and dust. Stars produce gas and dust when they're in their initial stages of birth. This phenomenon is found among the baby planets and newborn stars. Every light dot we can find in this image is a star, and most of them are expected to have orbiting planets around them." The revolutionary ability of JWST is that of its infrared vision, which allows us to broaden our vision. Now we can see through nebula's dusty clouds to see where planetary systems are born, and also through the thick gases of our galaxy's central black hole. One major ability that can transform our sights is Webb's ability to look at exoplanets. This will allow us to study the atmosphere and compositions of these planets to check if any of them resembles our ecosystem. Another incredible discovery from Webb lenses is about the finding of atmospheric water vapor on WASP 96b. This planet made of hot gas is 1,150 light years from Earth. What we are seeing there is a chemical fingerprint, the telltale signature of water vapor in the atmosphere of this exoplanet. The universe consists of countless planets, and now with the help of infrared scope, we'll be able to peer through rocks and clouds to understand which among them can harbor life. The ancestor telescope of Webb was the Hubble telescope, which is still in working condition after 30 years. And when Webb was built, it was the most powerful and efficient scientific observatory ever built. The joint project was initialized by NASA, European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. However, the initial stages were met with many complications. The estimated cost exceeded from $1 billion to $3.5 billion, but despite suspicious odds, the success of Webb is an example of joint scientific collaboration, and the results we see today are an outcome of the massive workforce, which consists of 1,200 scientists and technicians from 14 countries. Our next spectacular view of star death is captured by two Webb cameras called Southern Ring Nebula. This planetary nebula is caused by a dying star, which expels large fractions of its mass in successive waves. The image consists of two stars locked in an orbit surrounded by a cloud of elements. The orange foams around the image are made of molecular hydrogen that is formed in the cloud expansion, and the blue inner haze is formed by the concentration of hot ionized gas being superheated by the leftover core of the star. Now, if we ask why Webb operates from space, it's because the telescope consists of 4 cameras, which work in infrared lights. This wavelength resides beyond our sight because our atmosphere blocks infrared lights from space. And another thing about the position of the telescope is that it should be kept at -364 degrees Fahrenheit in order to enable it to use its sensors without interruption. This deep cold location is secured in the orbit and is aided by a protective sunshield. Like best for the last, our final image is a jaw-dropping, miraculous scene that consists of 5 galaxies called Stephan's Quintet. When it was founded, ESA astronomer Giovanna Giardino stated that it's no typical galaxy that contains 100 billion stars. This 290 million light-years distant constellation shows us one of the most beautiful chaotic works that are in progress. In the statement, she adds that 4 of them are locked in a sort of cosmic dance that is driven by gravitational force, and among them, 2 are in the process of merging. The images show us the type of interactions that drive the evolution of galaxies. The image shows how the material is swirling around and how a cosmic monster gradually swallows the other. Webb is powered by solar arrays and is expected to provide us with details for the next 20 years. The telescope is specially designed for self-sufficiency for its lifespan since it cannot be serviced. The plan of this man-made machine includes exploring the early universe and understanding how galaxies form and evolve over time, and also unveiling the mysteries of our exoplanets, and in future, we're expecting it to produce information that can pave the way to understand our universe. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see y'all with another video, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give us a like.